Here we are for our trip to Cadbury World. Here we are as we go through the rainforest. Oh, Riley's planting some cocoa. Is that one going to be too? The one by the water too wet? Or flooding? So as you go through the first bit, you've got quite a few interactive things that you can do. You're dressing them. Other way. And there's a storm coming. Cost 100 beans for a slave. Yep. 10 beans for a rabbit. Montezuma. No, I think the jug's full. We're on a ship with a monk. Riley, it's a ship monk. Ship monk.
After killing the Aztec Emperor Moctezuma, defeating the Aztec people, I returned to Spain on 50. I loaded my galleons with coffee beans, chocolate drink. Look, I found the treasure. What's this? This is just bags of seats drop-ins. Get rid of it.
I know.
What sort of treasure ship is this?
John Cadbury, and this is my shop. I first established my business in 1824. My father, Richard Cadbury, owns and runs the drink next door. Our family are staunch Quakers, and we originally came from the West Country. Father moved the family to Birmingham from our home in Exeter in 1794 and set up his business as a linen draper and silkworm. Birmingham was a fine place to live, with plenty of business opportunities. We soon made many friends, and my father became a prominent member of the local Quaker community. Because of our religious beliefs, Quakers were considered to be nonconformists. This prevented us from studying at university, and as a result, we were unable to enter the professions, such as medicine or law. Also, because of pacifists, we couldn't join the army or navy. And so trade and commerce were the only areas where Quakers could focus their ambitions and prosper. I was apprenticed as a teenager in Leeds, and then worked in a bonded tea house in London. When I returned to Birmingham in 1824, I borrowed some money from my father to go into business as a tea dealer and coffee roaster. I took over this shop and installed this large plate glass window so that my customers could see the samples of tea, coffee and cocoa nibs that I prepared myself.
Chocolate is deposited in drops onto a conveyor belt. This depositor can make an amazing 21,000 buttons in just 1 minute. The belt the chocolate drops onto is embossed with the word Cadbury, or slightly raised, so the word Cadbury appears on the bottom of every single button. Cadbury's Easter eggs start life as thick, liquid chocolate. A measured amount of the liquid chocolate is deposited into molds, shaped like 1/2 of an egg. The egg shells are shaken gently to get rid of all the air, and then turned upside down to tip out the excess chocolate. This covers the mold evenly with chocolate and removes any excess.
So just in a couple of films it goes into the history of Cadbury's and then just how to make the chocolate. It looks like we got... we've just missed some making chocolate. Eight hours a day. 8 hours, you got to fight the temptation to eat it. Chocolate frog and Aslan. That's the chocolate ball. Free liquid chocolate with... I've gone for buttons and fudge, and Roddy's gone for Oreos and marshmallow.
Tastes as good as 4 weeks ago.
Making chocolate bean lollipops and bubble. Got the chocolate in, spinning it to make sure it goes all the way around the mold. Making some shoes and a congratulations sign. Ooh. Tea dealers, and then to join the queue for Chocolate Quest. Riley, have you seen this chocolate Lego?
Oh yes, it
Going down Advertising Avenue onto the Cadbury's Chocolate Quest. Ooh, chocolate wall.
You haven't got the wristband. She's got you a wristband.
It's dripping from the ceiling. Oh, me and Riley are going to get squished. against the chocolate wall. Would have been good if it all said like Cadbury's in the brick at the dairy milk. Picture wheel. No, I think it's going the right way. Cadbury's buttons. But what were buttons originally called? Milk chocolate drops. We've got the Roll of Honour.
I think there's meant to be another 0 there.
Yeah, I think there's a 0 missing after the Bournville chocolate.
Where it was.
And a fruit and nut. 1926.
Crunchy was 1929.
So you come off the chocolate quest and then all of a sudden you're in the shop. So that's the end of the indoor bit, but we're going across to do the outdoor stuff. So it's changed to how it used to be, because you used to end up down here as you walked out, but now you have to go outside to come back in. So we're heading towards the museum, history of Bournville. There's bits of the village. Here's a room of mirrors, but it's closed at the minute. Have a look. More Cadbury Club stuff. The old boxes and packaging. Queen Elizabeth coronation chocolate, George V chocolate. Yeah, old Rosie's boxes. That's stuck on now. It looks like it used to be woolen. Purchased someone a clock for 40 years service.
Time to time, things rust, and had a quick burst. I really felt that it was a shame.
The Cadbury tubes.
I can't remember being it was
Yeah. I remember having that for Christmas as a kid. We used to put a penny in and the chocolate dropped, but the chocolate cost a fortune. All the milk trays and the roses. That's what they used to have in sweet shops. Ellie's happy with the Star Wars stuff. Trivial Pursuit. Look at that chocolate vending machine. Of the drop game. We got 2p version of the chocolate thing. Load of the Cadbury's vehicles. Milk bottles. Annie Jones still got like some of those. Well, she's got the chocolates van. The lorry. She had that one. We got loads of these. You used to get them free in Easter eggs, didn't you? No, yours is slightly different. I think that's an older version.
That one's not.
That one's more like yours. That one. the more up-to-date version. Some fancy tins. So not that long ago we had a dairy milk that had that printed on the inside. Got the shop frontage, and they brought the chocolate doodling inside. Here we are doing some chocolate writing. One thing to note is make sure you don't eat it because it is reused. So your name. What shall we draw? Do a house. Got a tiny roof. And a flower. I know he's not with us because he's allergic to milk, but shall we do one for Al? Like the ketchup bottles. Have you run out too? Oh. I did go a bit grand with the house. There we go. Fancy. Good little walkthrough, but one thing to note is you can't bypass the chocolate writing. So we had a look through the museum and then we came out the other side. We had to wait in another queue to do it. There was no way around it. In the queue line for the Chocolate Adventure 4D Cinema.
Well, that's about as much as we're going to get today. This is Roberto Caramel, reporting from a secret location, chosen so as not to disclose the whereabouts of Mr. Barrow. Thank you, Ron.
So the Cadbury characters, that was quite good, wasn't it, right? You got the whisper bubbles. So that was our trip to Cadbury World. Overall, for what it is now, you walk in, have a taste of the chocolate, the liquid chocolate. That's after you've been through the rainforest, where you learn how all the beans are grown, the history of the cocoa bean itself, and the Aztecs and how the Spanish took it. Then you go into the 2 mini cinemas, which I couldn't film in, but that includes how John Cadbury started the company based on his small shop in Bull Street, where he was trialling various different methods to get to what is now the world famous dairy milk, and then onto the production of chocolate itself. And it goes through that production. Then you go into the area where you try the chocolate, where you get to learn how chocolate was made, and then onto the new ride. So following the closure of Cadbury, you've now got the other ride. The ride's actually quite good. It's a little shooty ride where you have to shoot cocoa beans and milk to get the production. It's a good little ride, but I was quite surprised when I come off the ride because you end up in the shop, and that's pretty much the end of the indoor bit. When we came about 5 years ago, I don't know if it was the fact it was more spread out, but you seem to be inside a little bit longer. Following that, you do go outside, where you used to go straight out into the bit that took you to the play area. You now come out to the main entrance to go back in. You got the museum there, which is where the chocolate writing is, so that's been separated now. And the 4D cinema, I really enjoyed the 4D cinema. So you take a journey with all the old characters, go on a little bit of a roller coaster, and the seats move as you go through. I was actually quite impressed with it, so yeah, really enjoyed the 4D cinema. A couple of things to note on operations. Wasn't a fantastic start because we actually came on the Merlin annual pass day, so the pass holders day here, to try the ride. There's a little bit of confusion at the start because we tried to get in showing our email and our annual passes themselves, to be told we needed a printout with a QR code. So we went to the tills as we were told to do, and they printed a receipt which was basically exactly the same as the email, and there was no QR code. So we had to get to the front of the queue, leave the queue to get a slip of paper that was exactly the same as the email to go back in, which wasn't fantastic. The only other thing to note in terms of operations was just the queuing system for the new ride. For any of those that have got access passes or use the access pass, so you start off in the separated queue where access pass queues to the left and general queues to the right. We join the general queue to the right. We seem to get to the front of the queue quicker than the access pass, but then there's two spots in the queue line where the queues seem to merge before they separate out, but there's no real information to say that essentially the access pass people in the access pass queue can bypass on the left hand side because it separates out again once you get past the pinch points. I think going forward they just need to advertise that a little bit better so the access pass holders are aware that they don't actually need to wait in the main queue, because I think overall we queued for about 30 minutes for that ride. So yeah, we've enjoyed our day out. Elliot and Amy didn't come along because Elliot's highly allergic to milk, and we didn't really fancy a trip back to hospital in case he accidentally touched stuff. Inside though, it is quite sterile until you get to the chocolate writing bit. Most of the stuff, unless you're actually after the chocolate, is kept well behind the displays. Still quite a good day out. If you like Cadbury's chocolate, we've ended up getting quite a bit of chocolate from the shop, discounted. Not what it used to be, but if you don't remember what it used to be, where you used to seem to take a lot more time there, you probably wouldn't even notice. It is more of an attraction now rather than what it used to be, where you actually got to see the chocolate being made, but they do cover some of the history of the techniques with you. But we've had a good day. It's been a couple of hours, and overall enjoyed it. What's not to love when you end up with discounted chocolate? Just on a side note, if you do enjoy Cadbury's chocolate, they do the world's nicest milkshake in the Cadbury's cafe just before you go in. It was awesome. We had the buttons one, didn't we? And it was delicious. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye!
Bye.